Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we are going to talk about the notice that USCIS has posted on their website regarding the highly available visa numbers for EB2 and EB1 for this fiscal year. So we are going to look at what is the text inside that and what it means for you. I'll also address some of the other questions regarding adjustment of status for EB2 and EB3 India. So if you are interested in this topic, watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now I would like to remind you that I have a Patreon site, so if you have a specific question regarding your specific situation and if you want a non-legal advice, if you already talked with a lawyer and if you just want a second opinion, what I would do in that case, you can reach me out on the Patreon site and I'll be happy to give you my personal opinion on the situation. Now this is not a legal advice, mind you, because I'm not a lawyer, but regardless, based on my experience and if you trust me, you can ask me the questions over there. So I'll leave the link in the description and I'll see you there. Now I want you to pay attention to this particular notice that USCIS has posted on their website, and this has some implications and this might put some people into the doubt or question regarding whether to upgrade their petition from EB3, which they had just recently downgraded from EB2 back to EB2. Now let's read through the actual text and let's see what it means for us. So here's the actual link and here's the actual alert that the USCIS has posted. It says green card for employment based immigrants. There are exceptionally high number of employment based visas available for fiscal year October 2021 through September 2022. We already knew that there were about 290,000 visas that were spilled over from FY21 into FY22. So we already knew that. There is some discussion that we need to have, but let's wait and read through this first. There is an exceptionally high number of employment-based visas available this fiscal year, October 2021 through September 2022. In partnership with US Department of State, we are committed to attempting to use all of these visa numbers. There are many more visa numbers available in the first priority workers and second priority workers, which is EB1 and EB2 employment-based categories, than pending adjustment of status applications with the USCIS. This is very interesting. If you are eligible, please consider applying in the first or second preference categories. If you have a pending adjustment of status application based in the third preference category but also have a pending or approved petition and a visa available in the second preference category, we strongly encourage you to request that USCIS transfer the underlying basis of your pending application to the second employment-based preference category. For more information, please see the section called Transfer of Underlying Basis. Now we always know that you can downgrade the petition from EB2 to EB3 and you can also upgrade the petition from EB3 to EB2. That has always been the case. It is nothing new that they are mentioning. Now what is new in here is they are actually coming out and saying that there is a high number of visa availability that is catered towards EB1 and EB2. Now here are the two doubts that I have in mind. Remember last time when Charlie Oppenheim used to have those interviews with us. At the time in October and November, in October time frame when he had that visa bulletin interview, he told that although there were 290,000 spillover visa numbers available into this fiscal year, they were all used up. They were all already considered into the date progression that happened in October. So he said that there were already about 300,000 applications pending with USCIS that used up all of those numbers. That's what was told to us. Now what USCIS is coming back and saying is They have a lot number of applications that are available for EB1 and EB2. Now, where would these numbers come from? Either they would come from the spillover numbers, which we were told that they were already used up, which apparently is not, or the second thing is where there are very less number of other chargeability visa numbers that are not being used, that are being spilled over into EB1 and EB2 category. That is the second, that might be the second source of these visa numbers becoming available. But regardless, what USCIS is telling us is there are incredibly high number of visa numbers available only for EB1 and EB2. They are not talking about EB3. Or maybe there are visa numbers available for EB3, but there is already such a lot of demand that they don't need any more applications in EB3. So what they are saying is, if you have a pending application in EB3, but you also have your I-140 approved for EB2, and if your date is already current in EB2, because remember what they said, and an available visa number in the second preference category, we strongly encourage you to request USCIS to transfer the underlying basis of your pending application to the second preference category. So basically, there are two conditions. If you already have 140 approved in EB2, and if your EB2 date is current, then you can request to transfer your application from EB3 to EB2. So that is possible. Every lawyer can do that for you. Here's the thing, in my last couple of videos I have been telling, if your date is within the next few months, don't bother upgrading and downgrading. But now USCIS is coming out and saying, if your date is current in EB2, just go ahead and downgrade, just go ahead and upgrade. And that makes sense, because if your date is already current, then there is no wait time for you. You should just ask for an upgrade petition and just go for it. You can just work with your lawyer and they will be able to do that, because they routinely do this. But if your date is still not current, if it's like 6 months or a year out, you might want to wait, because you might want to see what happens. Because there is a lot of flip-flop going on in USCIS. If you had heard a couple of months back, they said these dates are not going to move because we have already used up all those spillover numbers, 290,000 numbers into the already pending applications. So that's why the dates may not be progress. That's what Charlie told us. And now they are telling us that there are a lot number of visas available only for EB1 and EB2. That is kind of interesting. And so if your date is current, no doubt just go ahead and upgrade your petition. But if your date is out like for 6 months to a year, there is no harm in waiting, because what will happen is, even if you upgrade now, your application is not current because your date is not current, so it's not going to be picked up right away. So you might as well wait for a few months until your date becomes current in EB2 and then upgrade your petition. That would be my suggestion, because the last thing you want to do is upgrade to EB2 and then find out that EB2 is slowing down and EB3 is picking up, and then you will be in a dilemma again whether I should downgrade. So to avoid that, if your date is not current and if it's out by 6 months to a year, you could still wait. Now again, if you want to talk to me about your specific scenario, then just reach me out on my Patreon site. I'll be happy to give you my opinion on it. Now there are a lot of questions that I get about the situation where they have applied for their 485 back in October or November of 2020 and they still haven't gotten their green cards. Now some people have got it right after they applied. I remember in October to through January, February time frame, there were a few people who said that they got their EADs and they got their green cards within like 6 months or so. But a lot of people are also pending since last 1.5 years. So this is not unusual at this point of time. We know that Nebraska and Texas service centers are highly backlogged. They have a lot of pending petitions of I-485 in spite of all of those petitions being current in their priority date. It's just the backlog that they are going through. Now, one of the things that you could do in order to expedite, if you are specifically waiting on your EAD renewals and things like that, you can open up a case on Ombudsman website. So there is a link that I will put in the description. You can open up your case and that way you could trigger them to actually adjudicate your EADs or even green card if you have waited long enough, say more than a year, and if your date is current. So try that option. Now this option is also applicable because I'm hearing that in lot of scenarios, some parts of family members, like few family members have got their EADs but others haven't. In that situation also, I would say open up a case with Ombudsman and you might get a response from that. Now again, a lot of questions regarding coming back on EAD or advanced payroll and going back on H1B. Yes, as I mentioned in my last couple of videos, that is absolutely possible. You can come back on EAD and on AP. AP is the advanced payroll is the process through which you come back. There is a secondary inspection, making sure that you have an active petition for your adjustment of status, and then they let you in as a parolee for the sole purpose of getting your green card. But after you come back, and if you have been working on H1B, you don't have to use your EAD if you want to maintain your H1B. Just keep renewing your H1B, and if you want, you can resubmit your I-9 to make sure that your status is still H1B, and then you can continue to extend your H1B. If you want to go on EAD, however, you have to apply for you have to submit your I-9 once again to show them this change of status. That will actually change your status from H1B to EAD. The I-9 is the way to go. So I just wanted to clarify that point as well. Now again, going back to the question whether I should upgrade from EB3 to EB2, look at your situation. USCIS has clearly said that there are visa numbers that are going to be available for EB1 and EB2 for this year, and there are a lot number of visas. So what you can speculate from that is EB2 is going to progress throughout this year, but I wouldn't trust 100% on what they are saying. It might be for the next couple of months, and it might again slow down, because as we have seen, these downgrades have taken effect on EB2, and now again if everybody is upgrading, then that might take effect on EB2 slowing down as well. But regardless, if your EB2 date is current, go ahead and submit your interfiling for EB2 from EB3. But if you have your date out like 6 months to a year, you could wait for a couple of months to see how things are going, because the last thing you want to do is upgrade to EB2 and then find out that EB2 is slowing down and EB3 is picking up, and then you will be in a dilemma again whether I should downgrade. So to avoid that, if your date is not current and if it's out by 6 months to a year, you could still wait, because even if you upgrade, it's not going to be picked up right away until your date is current. So that is just my thought. Do what your lawyer suggests you to do. If they are ready to upgrade the petition now, and if it makes sense to you, go ahead and do that. So I hope this information in this video is useful for you. If you like the content, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.